Everyone, and welcome to the December 5th meeting of the Henderson County Fiscal Court. Very glad you're with us this morning. We will begin, as we always do, with an invocation, and our Occupational Tax Administrator and Assistant County Attorney Andrew Powell is going to lead us in prayer. Please stand.
Father God, we thank you for the opportunity to come here today and attend to the business of our community. God, we thank you for placing these men and women in roles of leadership and instruction for our community. God, we ask that you bless them with discernment and wisdom. May they work for the betterment of their brethren. God, we just thank you for the community you've bestowed upon us, and as we give back to each and every one as we enter this Christmas season, God, we just thank you for the gift of Christ. We ask it all in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Andrew. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Magistrate Todd.
Here.
Magistrate Wilkerson.
Here.
Magistrate Putman.
Here.
Magistrate Warren is absent, and Magistrate Alexander.
Here. Gentlemen, you have before you the minutes of the November 21st Fiscal Court meeting. After a period of review, I'll entertain a motion to accept those.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other corrections, clarifications, or additions? Please call for a vote.
Magistrate Todd.
Aye.
Magistrate Wilkerson.
Aye.
Magistrate Putman.
Aye.
And Magistrate Alexander.
Aye.
Thank you. We have with us today this month's Judges Scholar, Miss Andy Slayton from East Heights Elementary School, and I'd like Andy to join me right up here in front. Andy looks extremely excited.
I think she might be just a tad nervous. Yeah. I'm going to read this just for you, Andy. Whereas Andy Slayton has been chosen by East Heights Elementary School to be the recipient of the Judges Scholar Award because she made a choice to accept changes that would benefit her education and well-being. And whereas change is not easy, however, Andy's ability to embrace change has led to growth that will only further her successes in life. And where success is measured in many different ways, whether it be passing a test, scoring the winning point, achieving a particular goal, or taking the necessary steps for overall improvement. And whereas the Henderson County school system couldn't let your efforts go unnoticed, Andy, and we can't either. So Henderson County supports the school system and acknowledges these changes as being significant because students such as you are going to be our future leaders. Now, therefore, I, Brad Schneider, County Judge Executive, join with the Henderson County Fiscal Court to proclaim today, December 5th, 2017, as Andy Slayton Day.
If we get in it, we'll see.
Oh.
You can get some more photos. There we go. Get some more photos. It's always good to have a wingman, and it's always good to have somebody keeping track of Mr. Gold here so he doesn't do anything untoward.
That's a full-time job.
Yeah. So thank you, Andy, and congratulations. We're very proud of you. Gentlemen, the end of December marks the goal period for wrapping up the new 911 upgrade, and it's rapidly approaching. And I thought it would be appropriate at this point, with all the things that have happened in the last few months alone with the 911 system, to have Brent Jacobs, who's the county's representative on the 911 committee, kind of come and give you all an update, a plain-spoken, easy-to-understand update on where we stand and what we hope to accomplish before the end of the month and what this means for county agencies in particular. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Brent.
All right. Starting off, I'm going to talk about the Motorola radio project. The system is currently up and running. After doing multiple coverage tests of the system and failing due to lack of coverage in the Basket-Spotsville area, Motorola is in the process of adding an additional antenna site at the Spotsville water tower to bring the coverage up to passing requirements. And with this, the warranty will not even start until the coverage test passes. So we're basically using it for free, right? Well, we're paying for it, but warranty will not start till all tests are passed and everything is good. Motorola and their subcontractors have been installing repeaters in key buildings that the radio committee decided had to be covered when we were going through this whole process. So the police department, judicial center, and this building have all been installed. So we have good coverage in these buildings. Even with the new system, coverage was not really great in that building or this building. I'm guessing HPD, and once the repeaters were installed, we have great coverage. And just last week, the Judicial Center security personnel started using their new radios, and I think they're happy with them. So that's a pretty good summary of the radio project. On to the second part of this whole system is the CAD system.
Remind everybody what CAD stands for.
Computer-aided dispatch. Things have been moving a little slowly with this system. In January, 911 started using the new CAD system for calls. Shortly after that, the Sheriff's Department started using the new system in their vehicles. HPD has just recently started using that system. Over the last couple months, I think city and county committee members and administration have noticed things weren't going as fast as they should have been. So we've had several meetings with the company, and things are starting to move quite a bit faster since we've talked to them. Hopefully this whole system will be finished by the end of this month or maybe early January. So things are rolling along.
So basically, two parts of this whole project were the radio side, which we're now utilizing, and all the software that supports all the dispatches and the record keeping and the archive, which we're working with a company called Alert to complete by December 31st. And as Brent noted, a lot of progress has been made just in the last couple of weeks on that software side. They're both intended to complement one another. They were both meant to be part of the project. It's not as if we can have one without the other. They need to both be fully running and implemented. We're working towards that. The feedback I've gotten from people who are utilizing the radios is that the clarity and reception is excellent. And even though we have a couple spots that need to be covered by the new antenna, that otherwise it is tremendously better to use than the old system by leaps and bounds. Is that the feedback you get too?
Yes.
And that the only muffled transmissions have been from a couple buildings, inside a couple buildings, that they're working on clarifying that now. So that's good to hear that the system actually is neat and easy to use as we thought, and that with the addition of the completed CAD system, not only will they have a lot of records at their fingertips, but other agencies will be able to log in and find those archives and records themselves without having to go through dispatch or get other people to look it up for them, right? That's the goal, including Steve's office and many other agencies. So With that, anybody have any questions or anything that you were wondering about? Or I know we have representatives of our volunteer fire departments here. They are utilizing the system, and they have had meetings with, for instance, our sheriff's department and other emergency responders to fully understand how they communicate when they need to. And so far, so good, Chief. Yeah. And I think that hopefully by December 31st, with continual prodding, the CAD system will be online and working completely. So I did bring Brent here to clear up any confusion. So if there's anything that's hanging out in your brain, or you'd heard any feedback from anybody in your district or any agencies about concerns.
I'm like you. I've heard the radio is going well now. They're doing. Now, will they be able to text 911 or person?
That's with the new phone system that the city just got a grant for, and they're going to pay the additional funding. We talked about that in court a couple meetings ago. So that's coming.
Yes.
I'm not sure the exact dates
I was
when that'll be
asking.
installed, but that's part of the new phone system through Motorola.
They will be able to text into 911,
Yes.
which could save them some time in some situations.
I think they call it Next Gen.
Next gen.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So.
Right.
So the bottom line on all this is progressing. We're keeping very close tabs and working very closely with Alert to make sure the CAD systems are online by the deadline of December 31st. If that does leak into January a little bit on some final dotting of I's and crossing of T's, we'll work with them as closely as we can to make sure it happens. And then follow-up training and testing are also part of the contract. So.
Yeah, just yesterday I got installed to all our local sheriff's department ladies down there, and they're testing today. So things are moving in the right direction.
One of the things that we are in the process of doing, or maybe just completed, is transferring all the archived information we had from sheriff's reports onto the new system. So they are part of the archive that is now accessible by various agencies. And getting that transfer done was a bit of a concern, but I think we're close to completing it.
Still working on it, yeah.
Yeah,
They've got the data and working on importing it. So.
good deal. So hopefully it'll be one big bank of information that we'll be able to access. Any other questions of Brent? Thank you very much, Brent. Thanks for your work on this, too. Next, Mr. Hubiak, you have a request for material bids.
Yes, Judge, it's that time of year again. I'd like the permission from the court to go out for our annual material bids. We will get them advertised in the paper here and notify all of our bidders for our bulk materials such as rock and asphalt and pipe, things of this nature, which is required under the KRS to go out for an annual bid. Seeing how that the holidays are and our next fiscal court date, I'd like to open the bids on January 23rd. That would give plenty of time for people to get their bids in.
Everybody in agreement there? We entertain a motion to that effect.
So move. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions of Bill? Is January 23rd plenty of time, Bill?
Yeah.
Get this notice out.
Yeah, we're pretty well stocked up. Plus, our bids that are currently in place will carry over until our new ones are accepted.
Okay. Any other questions of Mr. Hubiak? Please call for a vote.
Magistrate Todd. Magistrate Wilkerson.
Aye.
Magistrate Putten.
Aye.
And Magistrate Alexander.
Aye.
So we'll set that for the 23rd. Speaking of dates, you have in your package, gentlemen, proposed fiscal court meeting dates for 2018. They mirror the current practice of first and third Tuesdays at 9:30 a.m. Some months with an extra Tuesday, we wait till the fourth Tuesday to meet. There are a couple of occasions where that's true. But if there aren't any other questions, I'd like to go ahead and approve this schedule for 2018 with a motion.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions or comments? We had some brief discussion before the meeting with a couple of magistrates about occasionally perhaps having a special called meeting out in the community at different locations at a different time if we felt like it was appropriate, and maybe the citizens of our community would like to see that, and we kept open that option, and if later in the year, next year, we think that's a good thing to do. We always had the option of doing that, but this sets our regular meeting schedule for the year. So we do have a motion and a second. Any other questions? Vote, please.
Magistrate Todd?
Aye.
Magistrate Wilkerson?
Aye.
Magistrate Putman?
Aye.
And Magistrate Alexander.
Aye.
Thank you, and I'll call Ms. Ryder up. Give us an update on county claims.
I have 4 claims from the road department in the amount of $2,699.95 to Safety Award Store for 2017 safety awards. Also from the road department in the amount of $250 to Visa for meeting expenses. In the jail fund in the amount of $19,840 to Bruce Woodring Auto for a 2015 Chevy van, and another to Visa from the general fund in the amount of $2,326.79, which is general fund, judge, and fiscal court meeting expenses.
Do you also have in the claims an additional charge from Howard Moran's office for helping to implement the volunteer fire department funding? Did that come in?
Is this in addition to one that we've paid previously? There was
$500?
Um,
I'll double check with you after the
Okay.
meeting.
We
I
didn't
don't-
go over it yesterday.
No,
Okay.
I'm not aware of that one.
Okay, Howard mentioned to me in the hallway, and I'll double check with you afterwards. But,
Okay.
I
So-
moved to, go ahead, I'm sorry. I moved to pay the claims.
Second.
you have a motion and a second. Any other questions about claims? These are all budgeted items.
Yes, sir.
Please call for a vote.
Magistrate Todd?
Aye.
Magistrate Wilkerson?
Aye.
Magistrate Putman?
Aye.
And Magistrate Alexander.
Aye.
Thank you, Brenda. I'll talk to you about Howard's question after the meeting. Mr. Gold, your report?
Judge, I've got a few checks today. First is salaries, FICA, and retirement in the amount of $1,104.88. Health, dental, life insurance, $265.31. AFLAC, $25.20. And interest in the amount of $37.82, bringing today's total to $1,433.21, and the fiscal year total to date to $57,872.02. And Ms. Andy, could you hand that to the judge for me?
Motion to accept those payments. Thank you, Andy.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions of Mr. Gold? Please call for a vote.
Magistrate Todd?
Aye.
Magistrate Wilkerson?
Aye.
Magistrate Putman?
Aye.
And Magistrate Alexander.
Aye.
We're moving right along. Before we get to good of the county, I do know that Miss Angela Hagedorn from the Humane Society is with us with Officer Crooks to give us a quick update on the latest from the Humane Society and animal control.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I wanted to come and do an update on the cost. We do have some receipts together. These are going to be the animal control costs not covered through donations and grants. Do you want me to list off each individual receipt, or just do the total?
How many line items do you have there?
6.
Go ahead.
Okay.
ma'am.
We have a uniform receipt total for $251.86. Replacement badges, $193.96. Replacement ACL phone that was damaged during the seizure, $63.59. Photo finishing for the court case, which was $393.50. Gas to travel to deliver supplies to the foster farm was $347.19. And overtime costs were $613.29. So that's a total of $1,863.39. There are some other costs that are pending, but we were not able to purchase those items yet due to limited funds. I'm estimating the total cost to be approximately $2,500.
On the extra items?
No, just as
Total?
a total, yes, sir.
So what I'd like to do is go ahead and see if the court is willing to okay an appropriation of $2,500 from our contingency fund, which is approximately $880,000 in our budget, and move them over into animal control to cover both these items and the pending items, why don't you just plan to list those at the next fiscal court meeting?
Yes, sir.
And just to make that money available now, and then we'll approve an exact total when it arrives, hopefully by the next meeting, and be prepared to go ahead and pay. Get that done before the end of the year. Does that seem doable? Any other questions about that? I think considering everything that went on with this very unusual situation, a total of $2,500 is. You've done a good job of covering many expenses. So, does that seem acceptable to everybody?
Matter of fact, I'll move on that motion.
I'll second that. And where do you think you're going to end up at with it, though? I mean, you got a ballpark figure?
We have, honestly, through donations and through the grants that I have been able to secure, all the other costs should be covered. But most of the grants and the donations, they were specifically for care of. So I could not include extra expenses in those. So these are the extra expenses. So I really try to limit anything that for the court.
We appreciate it.
I agree. Considering everything, $2,500 is probably minimum amount.
Yeah.
So we have a motion and a second to cut some money aside and add to the animal control, amend to the animal control line item to cover these extra expenses. Anybody else have any problems with that?
When are you setting first and second readings on that ordinance?
We're going to be, it's an amendment to a line item, so it'll take first and second reading, two readings.
If you can do it, but if you
So we
Needs to
can
be
set.
appropriate.
We'll try to set. If you think you know the exact amount by the next fiscal court
I
meeting in
should.
2 weeks, we can set first reading for the next
Yes, sir, I
fiscal
should.
meeting. Okay. And we'll work with Brenda to get those line items just right. So.
Okay.
Thank you. Let's go ahead and take a vote on that motion.
Magistrate Todd.
Aye.
Magistrate Wilkerson.
Aye.
Magistrate Putman.
Aye.
And Magistrate Alexander.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Are there any other members of the audience today who have anything for the good of the county? Feel free to come right up to the podium and say what you like. Anybody other than Bill? Just kidding.
How you doing this morning, Bill?
I'm doing
My old
great.
good friend, Bill.
Yeah.
How are you?
Uh-huh. I'm doing great. Coach. You know, all right? Remember my comment.
Yeah, I'm.
Two up, two to
I
one.
just popped up in my head when I seen you get up.
Hey, I just want to make the court aware. In our this year's budget, we did budget for improving our radio system at the county road department to go in with the 911 system. Basically, our bandwidth is going to be eliminated within the next few years. It has already been diminished to the point where we don't have county-wide coverage with the system that we have that is approximately 20 years old now. This is something that we put together when I first got here to improve our system at that time. We definitely got our money's worth out of the system, but it's definitely antiquated. And this is a budgeted line item in new equipment for the road department. It is a safety issue, and working currently with Dotsy and Brent, we're procuring a couple bids to make sure we get the best bang for our buck, and that we'll be moving on with that. But this purchase will be executed this month due to the fact that we have been told that there will be a price increase in 2018, so we want to get the order put in before that. So we're double checking the bids right now. We've sent an email back to one of the companies to make sure that we got all the items accounted for so that we're comparing all the apples to apples and oranges to oranges before we make the decision. So, but I just want to let everybody know that we will be moving forward with that. And, it is over a $20,000 expenditure, but since it is a specialty item to match into our system, it's limited to a few distributors that handle that basic equipment. So it's not something we would have to advertise to go out for bid on.
So, and you said this was a budgeted item, right?
That is a budget item.
And you'll have to anyway, because they're going to narrow that band down again probably next year, and
then
we'll
do away
make-
with. They told us that they were going to do away with it within
They
the next
will in
5
a couple
years.
of years, but
Completely.
next year I think they're going to narrow it down some more, so it'll make it almost useless.
Yeah.
Need to go to digital.
Any questions? Thank you.
Get a good price. Anybody else in the audience who'd like to say anything for the good of the county? Magistrate Putman.
Thank you, Judge. Andy, I see you over there. Congratulations. I know your family's extremely proud of you. You know, and today is very fortunate because the judge moved right through the agenda, maybe at a record pace. I'm not for sure, but you're going to get out here at a very reasonable time. You know, and you was pretty excited up there about something. I seen when the check come across, you know, you kind of grinned a little bit. But congratulations. It's a great honor, you know, to win that award. And I know you got to be extremely proud of her. So, Judge, and just one more thing, Magistrate Warren, we just want to keep him in our prayers. You know, he's having a tough go of it since his accident, and we wish him a speedy recovery and so he can get back on the job. So, other than that, everything's good and forth.
Awesome. Terrific. Magistrate Alexander.
I want to also congratulate Andy on her award and the parents and the teachers that have made this possible. Y'all ought to be proud. It's done well. Also want to say something about my son is he's working at Central School, and he made a comment to me how that the school looked kind of rough outside, out front, and how it looked. And I drove by and looked at it, and the landscaping part. And so he said, wonder if Amy would be able to take care of that. I said, I don't know. You might have to call her and see. And she did. They did an excellent job. They worked it all out at the time that they were supposed to be there. You know, they couldn't be there when kids were there and all that stuff. And I just want to thank you very much. It's an excellent job, and you just jumped right in and took care of it, and thank you.
Thank you, Charles. Magistrate Wilkerson.
Everything's good in District 5, and congratulations on your award. Thank you.
I want to thank Magistrate Wilkerson for providing the transportation for Fiscal Court in the parade Saturday. We looked good. He had some new signs made that look real good. Appreciate that. It was a great parade, and having the politicians up front didn't ruin it. Imagine, but we appreciate you going to the extra mile to get that done and making the Fiscal Court look good.
Yeah, thank you.
Master Todd.
Everything's good in District 2, Judge, and congratulations, Andy, and pick a good spot to eat, and we'll go eat and have a good time there, and everything's well. And then I was going to also thank Carter for his time working.
Bruce helped me put it together that night because my help left.
Hey, true. Looked good though. Good parade and good crowd and good day, good sunshine, and excellent day for it. Thank you.
I agree. Thank you, Mr. Todd. Mr. Gold.
Well, thanks to both of you for working on that. Then it really was a good thing, and it was sad we were kind of flying in the missing man formation without Magistrate Warren, but we're all thinking of him and hope he gets well very soon. Andy, you might have been one of the quietest people we've had sit next to me, but you paid attention and you were very interested in what was going on. And I know if you are the Judges Scholars from East Heights, that's a big deal because I know a lot of kids at East Heights and there's a lot of great ones there. And if you got picked out of all of them, that's something special. Now, I have seen her play tennis before, and she actually is a lot more active and sometimes even a little more vocal playing tennis than she is here. So very proud of you. And please tell your teacher, Miss Blythe, that Meredith and Nate's dad says hi.
Thank you, Mr. Gold. And Andy, congratulations. The celebration doesn't end here. I want you to wear Magistrate Todd's wallet out at lunchtime, please. Order extra dessert for everybody and have a good time. But congratulations, this is a big deal. I know you're probably a little nervous and shy, but all the compliments are absolutely well earned, and you deserve it. And we're very, very proud to have you with us today. And congratulations to the family and the school. You picked a great Judges Scholar. A couple things. The parade Saturday was really a nice parade. One of the larger crowds I've seen in quite some time. I know the weather had a lot to do with that, but there were also a lot of people participating in the parade. It lasted 2 hours. I was able to double back and watch another hour and a half of the parade and really enjoyed the community atmosphere. getting in the Christmas spirit, but also just a celebration of our county and our town, and it was great that way. And congratulations to all involved. It was a lot of fun, and I know the fiscal court felt well represented, and I'm very proud to participate. Thanks to Jailer Brady, I was able to attend the latest progress meeting on the construction project, and things are moving right along. I know she's riding herd closely on that, along with Jay Smith, in order to make sure it gets finished in the most reasonable amount of time possible. A couple setbacks here and there, but that always happens in big construction projects. And it looks really good, and I think it's going to be a tremendous addition to our jail. I know that watching some of the commentary from meetings up in Frankfurt, committee meetings over the last couple of days, jails have been top of conversation, the costs involved with jails, and it always reminds me of how proud we are to have one of the best run jails in the entire state in our county, and that the problems that some jails encounter are not ours. We have other challenges, but they're all having to do with our excellence and trying to accommodate all the different agencies who want to utilize our jails. So congratulations to them. Keep up the good work. And we look forward to that construction project being finished so you can get back to normal life out at the jail. I've also been reminded of the excellence of our sheriff's office because of some arrests made through the Penny Rowell Narcotics Task Force lately. I think that's excellent work. That partnership has really been effective, Sheriff Brady, and even though this time of the year you'd like to think that the world stops turning and the bad guys quit for a while for the Christmas season, that is not the case. And we have to be vigilant, and I know you guys are working as hard as you always do. And to see that hard work result in some arrests and some progress against the problems we have with drugs in our county is gratifying. So keep up the good work and send our congratulations along to them. I know that takes a lot of time and effort and patience, and a great partnership with the Penny Rowell Narcotics Task Force and City Police. So thank you very much. I've also been in close contact with our volunteer fire department chiefs as they get the first round of funding from our volunteer fire department program. That has gone very well, gone smoothly. I think they are beginning to set their budgets accordingly for 2018. And now on our website, we have posted the financial statements of our volunteer fire departments. I know that was a question asked of us during the round of open house meetings we had around the county as we were discussing this law, whether the public would have access to the financial dealings of the departments, and the answer is yes, and those are posted now. Many of them are the last year's fiscal year, 2016-17, so they may not necessarily reflect the new budgets, but they give the public an idea of what the money is spent on and where the former revenues came from, and those will be consistently updated as we go forward and be a part of this new funding system is transparency for our public to see how their volunteer fire department dues are being meted out and used to help protect them. So I know that none of the chiefs had any problem with that. In fact, they want the public to know what happens and what goes on with that money, and also to use it as potentially a recruiting tool to get more volunteers to help them out. We have one more meeting this fiscal year of fiscal court, this calendar year, I should say. That's gone by fast. I hope everybody can join us one more time this calendar year in a couple weeks, and we will discuss and take care of some of these matters that we talked about today. But other than that, looking forward to Christmas and happy holidays to all involved. And with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor can leave.